Hi everyone, happy Wednesday from Florida. Dean and I are here for the doTERRA leadership event and it's super awesome. First time attending. We actually drove from Texas to Florida. It was going to be a 14-hour drive, turned into 20 hours. Sorry, 14 hours, turned into 20 hours. Took a wrong turn or something. I don't know what happened exactly, but it was worth every hour, every second, because we had a blast just talking about what we're gonna do to grow as individuals and then to grow our business. So there was just so much going on during the road trip, and I'm super excited because I'm continuing to be fed, and that is the power of mentorship. You know, that is the power of us, you know, really coming together and figuring out what it is that we want to do with our lives. And having accountability partners, someone you can talk to, and whenever you're feeling discouraged, someone who's going to help uplift you. So that's always super important. Excuse me. So we're staying here in a house that Stephanie rented. So really nice. We're actually downstairs right now taking notes and having a good time, kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. I know I'm a minute or two early, but you guys should be on in a few minutes. Hopefully you'll jump on. So we're 3 hours ahead of California. So it is 11 o'clock here. So I'm really looking forward to having you guys jump on and just kind of check in and see how you guys are doing. And I haven't heard much chatter. So it's always concerning when you guys don't respond or say anything, but I shared with you guys last week. I'm still going to do me. I'm still going to lead by example. I actually wanted to share with you guys tonight the few things that I'm going to be doing, and I wanted to verbalize them to you, so you guys can hold me accountable. So I'm setting big goals for my life, and I think it's very important that you tell someone. So I shared with you a few times, or a few videos back, how important it is for us to really tell somebody else what our goals are, what we're planning on doing, because then when you tell somebody, it's like, oh, I already told somebody, as opposed to not telling anybody, right? And then you're like, oh, well, nobody knows, so you just kind of just leave it on the download, don't tell anybody anything. So I'll wait for a few to jump on because I don't see anybody on just yet. Once you do get on, sometimes I can't see, so if you can make a little comment and just let me know you're here, I would really appreciate it. Being here in Florida, well, the weather changes a lot, so it's kind of, my voice is a little raspy or something, so I already took a Tri-Ease to help. Hopefully it's an allergy or a seasonal something that's happening, so I'll get that ready for you. How is everybody doing tonight? I'd like to hear how you guys are doing. Okay, we'll wait for a few minutes. Hi, Monica. I see Monica jumped on. Okay. Super excited to share with you a couple of things, and I also wanted to ask a couple of questions, so hopefully you're okay with me asking you some questions and then answering. I miss you too, Monica. We have to chat. I want to see how you're doing. Okay. So I posted earlier that I was still going to go live. I know many of you maybe, because you thought I was in Florida, I wasn't going to get on, but accountability is huge for me. So I want to make sure that I stay on top of these videos. Hey, Dina, stay on top of the videos and stay connected with you guys. Because regardless of what we're doing, this is priority for me on Wednesdays. So I want to be here sharing with you guys. And I also want you guys to share with me because I want to learn from you as well. So we'll give it a few more minutes and see who's going to jump on with us this evening. And again, I don't have a clock. Can you type, Dina, what time it is right now? And then let me know when I'm like 10 minutes from cutoff time. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was something we've touched on for quite a few weeks, is as far as our time management and what it is we're doing to fill the 24 hours that we're given. So I was running across a couple of things, and I noticed sometimes we start one task and take forever, right? And really take longer than we need to get it done. So that's kind of one thing that I run across this past week, and it's really been pressing. I haven't had any of you guys sent me any messages. I have not received any of the homework from anyone, and I'm wondering if you guys are overwhelmed, if you're feeling stuck, and then I'm just left wondering. So I don't know for sure what's going on. I know a lot of you guys lead busy lives, and you tell me you want to do this, you want to do. I'm like, okay, where do we do? How can I help you? How do we get yourself established first, right? Because you can't do anything unless you get yourself established, and then kind of figuring out where to go from there. But I haven't gotten anything as far as the paperwork is concerned, so there's no way I can help you, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like, oh, I guess I don't have to help anybody. Everybody's okay. So just checking on you to make sure you guys are okay. And I'm on a bed, so I'm a little uncomfortable. I'd like to have you guys start out by telling me something positive that's happened this week. So a positive share. Something that has been a highlight of your day, your week, your weekend. Something positive that you've experienced. Something you're grateful for. Okay, so I am super grateful for my mom. A little more this week than usual, which says a lot because I love my mom and I appreciate her very much. But this week I'm really super grateful for her, if that's possible. So Monica, you said you prayed a specific prayer and it was answered. Very grateful. Yay! That's always awesome. I love answered prayers. It's confirmation that he's listening. Sometimes we think he's not even listening. But when you get a confirmation like that and you're paying attention, it's like he's listening. So keep giving them to him. You know, he'll be on a roll. You ask. You're specific with your prayers and he answers you. However those answers are. But get into that good habit of requesting and having those prayer requests. And I was going to ask you guys if anybody was interested in starting a prayer list as a group. Because, you know, there are specific needs that some individuals have, and we can actually start doing a prayer list, like a team prayer list, and then we can go from there. So again, I want to share that I'm very grateful for my mom. My mom has been my rock. She has been very supportive. This past few weeks, I've been really praying about making changes in my life to really be successful, as I shared with you guys before. But not just that, be very specific. So my dream is to have my coaching practice, right? And I have a vision of what that looks like, and I've written down a very specific request of how I want it to be. And I'm doing my part. I'm writing everything down on my little sheets. Dina shares, lots to be grateful for, prayers answered, leadership education, great company, exposure to leaders, new enrollments. So that was Dina's week and what you're excited about or grateful for. Thank you for sharing. And I think it's so important to really think about the good things that are happening, because sometimes we get so caught up in the negativity of what's happening and things are not going our way for whatever reason that we forget to think about all the positive things that are happening in our lives too. And sometimes we have to dig a little deeper to find them, but I'm hoping that everybody's having some type of positive experiences this week, or have had some positive experiences this week. So you can celebrate them and continue to look forward to more and more blessings and more answered prayers. And that's always a good thing. So again, in being grateful, this past week, I've really been taking an inventory of my life more closely than ever. Now, my biggest thing is when I'm going to lead people, as I mentioned before, I can't lead anybody unless I lead myself. So I've been going through a lot of personal changes myself, and I've really been challenged to make a lot of personal growth happen in my life, and I've given myself a time frame. So I want to share those with you so you guys can keep me accountable to what it is that I want to do. So when I gave you guys the sheets on goal setting, I really wanted to hear back from you to find out what those goals were. Like, that's my intention. But since I haven't received any, I'm like, maybe I should just tell them mine. Since I know a few of you jump on to listen, but maybe to help give you a little more of a guide of how it's structured. Maybe you're overthinking it. Maybe you just haven't had time, and that's okay. But again, if you let me know, then I know how it is or what it is that I can do to help you. So one of the big things that I did is I actually spent some time with Dina. I flew out to Texas, and I'm really big on mentorship, and Dina has provided that mentorship for me. I've reached out to her to kind of get familiar with how it works. And right now I'm really praying about rank advancement and what that means. So my goal is this, and it's a little broad, but I want to develop my coaching program where it's virtual, where I do coaching online through webinars, through Zoom calls, and one-on-one. And I have a certain fee that I charge for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 8 weeks. So that's pretty much developed. So right now what I'm doing is building my video modules. Okay, so that's one of my goals. Very specific, and I'm praying about the right people. I don't want just anybody, right? So that's a work in progress, right? And Dina has been mentoring. She's been supporting me. So I decided to come stay out in Texas for a while to kind of take some time for me and figure out what it is that you want. Not that I can't do it at home, but I knew that in my goals, since I have a certain time of frame that I want to complete anything in, I needed to get aggressive and take advantage of every minute of my day. And that's what I'm doing right now. Now I'm in Florida because I came to the leadership, but that's where my intentions are. Okay, I really took a hard look at my schedule and wondered what I was doing with my time. And after filling in my bubbles, I know what I want to do. And that's very important, because if you do not, again, set your time and be intentional, then your time's taken away from you. And I wanted to ask today if anybody sat down and filled in their time logs. And if you have you found spare time? Now, you don't need to tell me, oh, yes, I have, but I haven't done anything. Just, have you found spare time? That's all I want to know. If you've actually sat down and looked at your schedule and found out any breaks in your schedule where you can actually dedicate time to personal growth. Has anybody done that? Okay. So, Dina, you said you have. Okay. So, since I'm really big about this short-term goal and a deadline, again, I got very specific, filled out some sheets, asked for some advice as far as placement and all that good stuff. And I've given myself a deadline to rank advance by the end of April. Now, as you know, that this month we have a 200 PV, and I'm excited about that because that's going to help me rank advance, right, in April. So there's my mission for my professional growth in doTERRA, and we'll get into details if anybody's interested in that later. As far as my personal goals are concerned, I've decided to go live on my Facebook personal page, which I've never done. I've gone live on my oil page. No, I'm lying. On my Healthy's page and here, but I've never done it on my personal page. So if any of you are my friends, you notice that every morning I go on and I put down either a quote or something, and I add a little something on there. And now what I'm planning on doing, I'm praying about, and really soon, probably today or tomorrow, tomorrow, I'll probably start tomorrow. I'm starting tomorrow. How's that? I'm giving myself a deadline. Tomorrow's the day. So I'm going to go live on my personal page and just say something for about 2 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to say yet, but every day I'm going to pray about it. And maybe it'll serve as motivation. Like, I get some people that tell me all the time, thank you so much for posting that. I really needed to read that today. So God's been leading me to do that for a while, but I've been terrified. So I'm going to start doing that tomorrow. Monica Baraja says, yes, especially in the morning. Instead of watching the news, I pray and spend time learning on strategies to improve my doTERRA business. That's good. So you found time to do that in the morning, Monica? That's good. And that's what it's all about, really. When we're talking about time scavenger hunt, a lot of people just tell me I don't have time. So I always tackle where's your time going first before we do anything else. We can't talk about anything till you find time to do it, right? Because everything worth doing takes time, and it's not easy. So once we have the time, then we can do something. So I'm glad you found that time, Monica, that you can sit there and actually figure out how to best utilize it. And if what you were doing during that time could, it was that a meaningless task or whatever, only you can decide that. But apparently you found that finding different tools or strategies is more beneficial to you. So thanks for sharing that. So in sharing my goals, I'm hoping that you guys get a little more comfortable. I know a couple of girls went live once and then they didn't do it again. So I'm like, you know what, Velia, if you want to lead, then you need to lead by example. And that's always something I'm big on. So I'm going to be going on my Facebook page live every morning. And I'm thinking about 8 o'clock. I'm telling myself, what time are you going to do this, right? Because I'm blocking off my time. Now, another thing, tomorrow, I don't know if any of you are aware, but I'm going to be teaching my first live essential oils one-on-one class in Spanish. So yes, I'm freaked out about it. Don't know if I have the right paperwork. I don't know if I have everything, but I'm going to do it anyway, right? I tell you guys, do it afraid, it doesn't matter. And Dina is so funny. She goes, what does it matter if you mess up? Nobody knows what you're going to say anyway. And I think I'm more concerned with the language. Like, what if I don't sound right? Or what if I mess up the words? I'm like, what if I do? It doesn't matter. I'll just keep going, So again, those negative thoughts come in and then boom, I attack them. I have to. If not, it'll keep me down. So those are a few things that I want to be accountable to you for. And something else is walking with Jesus every morning. So I'm going to make it a point when I get back to Texas, because I'll be there for a while getting some stuff ready. I'm going to wake up every morning and just take a walk. I don't know if it's going to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. We talked a few weeks ago about being very intentional with the people that you want to be on your team. And we talked about how if you're not ready, hi Rosa, hi Jen, how if you're not ready for those people, then why are you asking for them, right? So I was driving yesterday and I told Dina, I'm ready for my people. I'm ready to receive my clients. I know what kind of clients I want. I know where I'm going to put them. I know what I'm going to expect from them. I know what I want to feed them. And I know what I want to do now. So my prayer for my specific people starts tomorrow. Actually tonight. And because I'm ready. I'm ready to receive the abundance. I'm ready to receive the right people. And I shared with you guys a few weeks ago that God's going to give them to you when you're ready and you're specific. So right now in my life, I feel that I can be the leader that a new recruit needs. I feel I can support them. I feel that I can lead by example. I feel that if I ask them to do a testimonial video after they've been for a while, that they can do that because I've done it. If I ask them to go live, right, I've done it. They can do it. If I ask them to step out of their comfort zone, right, they'll do it because I do it. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. What I'm saying is that I feel like I'm equipped right now to receive 10 advocates. And for me to say that is huge, guys. It's huge. And I posted a couple days ago here, I think it was yesterday, about where I was this time last year. Exactly. Okay. So last year, February 28th, I had shared with you briefly that I was hiding under my desk crying at work. And on the post, I didn't put that. I just put it in my office curled up, right? But I was literally under my desk. And I just shared this conversation with you guys like 2 weeks ago, maybe, where I said, I was at school, I was a principal, and I was overwhelmed, and I found myself hiding under my desk. So yesterday, Dina's driving, and we stopped to get some coffee, whatever. And you know how Facebook has little reminders? So that reminder came up. And there was a quote on there that said, because I thought I was done, I couldn't do this anymore, I was feeling like a total loser. I mean, the emotions that came through, hi mommy, the emotions that came through were just overwhelming to the point where I broke. And I felt like there was no more fight left in me. I felt like, you know what, to be honest with you, I felt like God was playing a sick joke on me. And I know it sounds bad, but that's how I felt. So curled up under my desk crying, I called my best friend, and she's on there now, Rosa, and I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know. I'm done. I feel like a complete failure. I can't do this anymore. And I felt like God had abandoned me. That was 1 year ago yesterday. Exactly. So Facebook brought that post up, and I'm like, that was a year ago. Felt like a total loser, this, that, whatever. And I think like 2 weeks after that, maybe 3 weeks, I was introduced to doTERRA, because I'm asking God, Lord, there has to be another way. I can't be here anymore, but I don't want to just run away from my problems. How do I fix this? And I'm asking, and I'm being specific with my prayer, and then here comes doTERRA. So yesterday, on the road trip to come to a leadership conference in doTERRA that I had no clue. I just found that I was coming a few days ago, so everything kind of happened quickly. And when that reminder came up, it was God saying, I was preparing you for this. You had to hide under the desk. You had to want it bad enough. You had to experience what you had experienced so you can relate to other people that are also terrified. And you might not be curled under your desk, but you're looking for a way out. So that reminder was very powerful to me yesterday. And also confirmation to me that God hasn't forgotten about me. He wasn't trying to be cruel. He wasn't trying to laugh at me. He wasn't abandoning me, but he was teaching me how to be what I needed to be. And I will continue to grow. But that was just confirmation. Like, what a coincidence. That happened to be my reminder, right, on the way to Florida for leadership. Coincidence? I think not. So I honestly feel that in my heart, God's seeing that I'm fighting, that I'm trying, and even though I'm so far from perfection or getting it right, he's not giving up on me, and he's showing me little things here and there. So I tell you this to share with you how even though you think that you're going to hide under a desk the whole time, or God's not looking out for you, or you're suffering, and why is God doing this, and I tried to do this, and I can't just seem to get ahead. And I mentioned to you on my post, like, I'm asking God, oh Lord, help me hold on, help me hold on. And God's like, that's not even what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to tell me, get me out of here. So again, specific. I didn't want to hold, that's not what I really wanted. I didn't want to hold on for another day. I wanted his okay to tell me you can get out of here and not feel guilty about leaving that position. I thought I was called to do that, right? It's a full-time job. I was getting good money. But it was just a lot of stress and I was miserable. So yesterday when I saw that, in my heart, it was God's confirmation I had something better for you and you're on your way. Literally on your way. We're driving, right? You're on your way to bigger and better things. And now you're ready. So confirmation for me yesterday was huge. I had a bunch of ideas coming in and I'm writing stuff down and I'm brainstorming and I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is God's will for my life. And I have confirmation of it. So if this is where he has me, then I need to work my butt off because I'm here for a reason. So I encourage you guys to really sit down and take a look at your life. A lot of you say, I'm busy, I'm tired, I'm this, but you still want this. So if you want it, where are you? You know, where are you in your journey? Where are you in your mindset? Where are you in your thoughts? Have any of you sat down and wrote your little piece of paper of your power of 3 or your placements or whatever? When was the last time you sat down and really took a look at where you are? Okay, so here's what I'm figuring. Where I am right now as far as my rank is concerned is all fine and dandy, but where do I want to be by the end of April? Because I mentioned with you I want to rank advance, okay? And I need to sit there and say this is what I want next month or by the end of next month, which is April. We're on March 1st. And what do you need to do to get there? So I wrote it all out. I wrote everything out. This is what I need to do. This leg needs to be at 3,000. This leg needs, and I have a strategic vision for what I want to do. Now that's fine. It's going to work out if I do my part. And we always go back to who's doing their part, who's not, whatever. So for those of you that always say I don't have time, and if you haven't had the time or if you haven't made the time to find time, I want to challenge you to do that. And if you can, it would be great because it's fun to be successful, but you always hear about how much more fun it is when you have people with you. And right now we're at, again, a leadership retreat. I'm surrounded by a bunch of leaders that are rank advancing and they're sharing and they're loving it. And you know, all the founders were up there today talking about how much, you know, I mean, they just have all this integrity, you guys. We work for an awesome company. I don't know if you guys know, but they're involved with something called Helping Hands. And when you guys order, it always asks for a donation on the bottom or $1 or something. And all of us kind of just look past it. But they donate to a lot of meaningful foundations, right? They educate kids. They clothe them. They do different things, a lot of sex trafficking. So we're at a company, we're working for a company that really is attempting to bless other people. And my heart's desire is to get to like the diamond rank, the blue diamond or presidential, right? Because I want to go to those places and help build their houses or help do whatever. I want to do that. That's my heart's desire. And, you know, when you do that, you make all kinds of money and then you can give it, you know, a lot of it away. You can bless other people. And we go back to saying, oh, well, you know, money and it's not that serious. Unfortunately, that's what you need. Money is power. And why should all the bad guys have the power, right? Why can't the good guys have the power? And money can do so much for other people. You know, they ask for donations, you know, to help with all these kids that are being there's sex trafficked. There's a lot of girls who don't go to school because they're shunned or whatever, and all that requires money. Like, it would be lovely if, you know, everybody can just give it away, but it requires money. So every time I see something like that, I want to be there. I want to be out there helping, and that's going to require, I've never wanted to be diamond so bad. Presidential, not just diamond, right? So I am going to be a presidential diamond, and I'm going to give myself to the end of next year, or actually to the end of this year to do it. It sounds crazy, but I know that if I continue to do what I'm doing, if I'm strategic, and if I pray for the right people, and as hard as it gets, I don't give up, I will be, because that is my heart's desire. Does that make sense? Like, who thinks that sounds crazy? Because if I don't say it out loud, then it doesn't happen. For me, this is me, my personal walk and my journey. I want to take care of my parents. I want to help my sisters. I want to do this. I can't do it without money. So God knows where my heart is, and I already know what I have to do. I have a mentor. Like, they said, okay, get your desire. I have my desire. Find the time, okay? Find the tools. I have them. Find a mentor. I have them. And the last one is work your butt off. Okay, I can do that. Thank God I have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 arms, 2 legs. I mean, I'm so grateful for my life. I can do it. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to lead by example. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today too. Like, now I'm accountable to everybody, right? And it's going to take a lot of hard work. A lot of dedication. I'm probably going to cry, and that's okay. I'm going to be tired, but I will not be the same, especially after today. I've received too many confirmations, and I can easily stay in bed and feel sorry for myself, or woe is me, and I share nobody, or I can just be like, I just keep going. And somebody shared something today, like, an object in motion stays in motion, and one at rest continues to be at rest. So my question to you is, do you want to be an object that says, I want something, and you stay still, or you go for a little bit and you stop? Or are you going to want it so bad that you don't mind all the blood, sweat, and tears? Because that's what's coming. It's not easy. And everybody who's successful will tell you the same thing. That it can happen, but you got to work your butt off. Like, are you ready to do that? Can anybody share with me if you were discouraged this week? If you wanted to just give up and not care about the business. If you wanted to just... for this week? At all? I know a few weeks ago, we had shared the thoughts that have go through my mind as well. It's like, you know what, as long as I'm doing the oils, people don't seem to care, whatever. Today, they made a very interesting, they discovered, or they shared, that 66% of the United States has no idea what essential oils are. 66%. Jen, you felt that way? Good. I mean, that's, my thing is, I just want honesty. Like, if I don't know where you guys are at, there's no way I can help. And I'm like, where are you guys at? And again, when you guys retreat, I just think you guys don't care anymore. And that's just the assumption I made. Or I make, and I shared that with you guys last week. And I respect that you guys are busy and you have other lives. But when I heard that today, I'm like, you think because we know, or I think because we know oils, we assume everybody knows about them. Or if no oil, don't want it. Hair, don't want it. 66% don't even have a clue about essential oils. So do we have work to do? And I feel like I'm hounding them when I keep asking. Stop asking them. Plant seeds. And this is what happens. What we talked about a few weeks ago, that sometimes we do something so much for someone that we wear ourselves out. It's like, have you ever planted a seed and then overwatered it? Anybody? I have. It drowns it. It does nothing. You suffocate it. Dina, you said you felt discouraged this week? So when you overwater something, it suffocates, it drowns. And that's what we were talking about a few weeks ago, about praying about how much watering to do, about how much time, right? And it's not just one person. 66% of the United States does not know about oils. So let's keep looking for those people. And when I told you guys a few weeks ago, we need to pray about those people. How are you going to find them? You don't just sit there and wait. Sometimes they come to you, right? So here's another thing. When you get to silver, when you rank silver, the company starts giving you customers. Did you guys know that? So say you work really hard, you go from your director, executive, and then you go to premier, and then you let's see if I have the ranks right. And then silver. So when you get to silver, you get your own account manager that helps you go through stuff. And then when you're in silver and you stay silver, the company starts sending you customers. And some of them I've seen are just on LRPs and they're doing their thing. So you actually have coaches helping you once you get to that rank. You know why? Because when you get to that rank, they think you're serious now. Monica, with a demanding job and the leads you do have aren't as receptive as you thought, it becomes very challenging. But I will not stop sharing oils. I will continue blessing people with them. So that's the thing. We talked about how sometimes we share so much and then we're so attached to the outcome that we stop sharing. So remember, we're not supposed to do that. We said no more of that. So if you're doing the same thing over and over again and it's not working, stop doing it. So then you fall back into these patterns. Okay? So a lot of what happens is you guys get happy, we get happy, share. We don't get what we think we should, and then we stop. And there's God's work halted. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Do you guys remember? Okay. So then you guys are doing the same thing again. So it's going back to old habits, getting frustrated, putting energy into places you don't need to be putting them in. And that's what's been happening a lot lately. And I can tell because you guys, what's been happening, my behavior, I have one of my degrees in human development. So I study human behavior. That's what I did. And after that, right, got into mental health. So I can tell how you guys are doing based on your interactions with me. And I will never force anybody to do anything. You guys. So everything I tell you guys or I share with you, I'm doing. Okay? And I won't do anything unless you guys are... I'm not going to help you do anything unless you want my help, basically. And these live calls, I'm thinking, do I continue to do the live calls? Do I not do them anymore? Do I pray about it? Do I just leave them alone? And we talked a little more about that last week. So if you guys feel like this is not beneficial or, it's kind of like you're going to just use it as a Tylenol or whatever, then we don't have to do the calls. But I feel led to, right? And even if this is just for me, I'm going to continue to do it, right? But those are thoughts that come in. So yes, we have demanding jobs. And I sit before you knowing what that's like. I worked full-time, went to school full-time, mom, wife, everything. So I know what demands are. But I know how miserable I was too. I left a very good paying job to pursue my dreams, having that thing ready, right? And I've been struggling. I've been struggling financially. I've been struggling with, the mind games. What am I going to do? Oh my gosh, whatever. And I'm like, do I continue to struggle or do I do something about it? Jan, she goes, I like them. They are hard for me to join with my soccer commitments. Yeah, and life happens. I get it. When we said Wednesdays, like, oh, people go to church on Wednesdays. I'm like, Wednesdays is the day that I have, and that's what I'm going to try to do. And it was good for the first few weeks, and then everybody started dropping off. And I'm like, that's normal. I expected that. But again, you guys do you, right? And when you can jump on, jump on. If you have the opportunity to do the forums, do the forums. But this is when people find out who's serious. Who's serious? And I'm never the like, yeah, you guys better do it. I hope nobody's ever seen that I come off as somebody like that. Like, yeah, you better do it, whatever. People tell me, Velia, I want to build. I want to do this. I need to do that. Okay, you really want to? Game plan. I'm all about game plans, right? But again, I will never help you game plan if I'm not game planning because it doesn't make sense. How are the blind going to lead the blind? It doesn't work that way. We're going to be bumping into each other. Passion is great. Desire is great. But if you're not doing anything about it, then what's the use of having the passion? What's the use of having that? I need something better. I want something better. Like I have a lot of people, myself included, at one point, I had this desire and I was miserable at work, right? And I shared that with you guys. And I'm praying, asking God, I need something better. What do? I know I'm called to do something else. I want to love people. I want to service them. I want them to feel better. I want them to not have less stress. And I'm praying. And that day I'm under my desk crying, doTERRA shows up. So I'm praying for something. God gives it to me and I don't take the time to apply it, to apply the time for it, right? To learn about it, to share it. And right now I feel selfish. Like if I don't share, that's being selfish. And that's what I need because I know how to make somebody or help somebody not feel so stressed. I know how to help somebody who has a lot of depression. I know how to help somebody. So why wouldn't I share it? You know, and a lady said, you know, you can't do everything for free. I'm like, yeah, you can't. But you have something that works and you're not sharing it. And just because you're sharing it with the same person for 5 months, it doesn't mean that, oh, well, I'm working hard. Well, who else are you sharing it with? 66% of people in the United States do not know about oils. So just because we use them every day doesn't mean that other people know about it, right? Diana shared last week that there was somebody she was kept talking to about the oils, whatever, or asked if they wanted to know about the oils, and they said, no, I don't want to know. Okay, next. Right? Okay, next. That's what you do. Or you can sit there and do the same thing over and over again. I shared and I gave them samples and I gave them brochures, like I told you guys, right? The first couple of weeks. I'm giving my stuff away and they don't sign up. Well, okay. Change it up. It's not working. There's some people that don't need hand-holding. There's some people that don't need motivation. They're self-motivated. They're independent. And that's great. And there are people that say they want help and then help is given to them and then nothing happens. And there's some people that just say, I'll just watch from the sideline. And that's okay. But you have to identify what person are you, right? And that was the whole purpose behind us doing the personality test, the spiritual analysis. You got to get to know you and what you want. Like, what do you want? Do you want to make $500? Fine. You want for what I'm teaching you? So far, I haven't gotten much feedback, and I'm like, okay, well, I still have to do me, you know, and I still have to do the same mindset. So I have a mentor that's helping me. You know, and that's how it works for me. So I have to look out for me. So a lot of what's happening right now is that a lot of the time, and I really haven't shared a lot. I'm praying to grow a couple of legs out here, right? To build my legs, because these ladies want to know about the oils. But I flew out here to go spend time with my mentor, right? And now I'm gonna go spend time with 2 ladies that are interested, and by God's grace, they're going to sign up and be very productive. Because they're ready. Does that make sense? So it's time that's invested outside, and then when it's serious, it gets a little more intimate. I don't start off all intimate like I used to. And that's one thing I'm changing up. Last week, a lot of people said I don't have time. Again, stuck with the whole I don't have time thing. So I'm going to read something from the manifesto. And once I read it, I'll just kind of leave you with it. And then you can ponder as to whether or not this applies to you, if you feel that you have to make any changes, or if you want to stay where you're at and continue the same pattern. And that's entirely up to you, okay? My job is to show you another way. And many people will want to work that way, and many won't, again. So there's different types of people. And all I ask and my prayer for you is to find out what type you are. And then you can go from there. When we talked about saying no to other people, you guys remember that last week? I'm gonna start with this. We left off last week with, you know, being able to say no and not feel guilty about it. So, no great person ever made history without having guilt thrown at them or suffering some backlash from those who didn't like or appreciate their independence, discipline, or single-mindedness. So let the petty ones complain. Let them tremble with still anxiety or anger. After days and weeks and months of protecting our turf, refusing to give in to the guilt pressure, stating convincingly that we have our own dreams to chase, we will find that the demanding bullies and unaware idiots finally have left us alone. This goes back to where we're talking about people that are very demanding and always asking for favors, right? Not doing for themselves. Like, oh, I want this, I want that. And we're investing all this time, and then we feel guilty when we say we don't have time for them. And we put our dreams to the side. Remember we talked about that last week? Then liberated from the social oppression that is others' distracting demands, we are free. Liberated to create and design our own lives in the newly opened white spaces of time. The more we say no to demanding people, the more life opens to pursue our passions and happiness and to serve and spend time with those we love. But what shall be done when it is our loved ones who constantly need us or tear us from our path? Let us be patient with them, but let us be real. We must artfully deal with anyone who derails the day's mission, including family. For the most part, this simply means asking for our space during blocks of time during the day. It is saying to our young boy, son, your mother needs the next 2 hours to focus on a very important project that means a lot to her. Please do not go into her office. When it's said, it is only mature parents that will prevent the boy from entering the room. We must stand our ground. We can train our children or our teammates that when our office door is closed, they should not enter unless in emergencies. We can lovingly request our spouse to give us an hour each evening to read or meditate or create art. We can say no to the parties, the gatherings, the formal functions that we feel so obligated to attend. There may be skulls of long faces at first, but over time people will realize we are persons of purpose, and they will give us room, knowing that the more they respect our schedule, the more likely we will find and make the time to be with them. Our goal is not to become cold or unavailable. No, it is to protect our sanity, progress, and freedom. It is worth repeating that we can and should give time and attention to those we love and lead when we desire to do so, being good to those around us, right and responsible, but never at the cost of our own long-term sanity or dreams. Besides, it is not true that by saying no, more to that is wrong. We are left with more time to give loving attention to those close to us. Some ask, should we not compromise? Can there be no middle ground between our desires and the needs of those around us? Perhaps, but there is a difference between adding a few tasks onto the day schedule to serve others and compromising our own entire life agenda. When it comes to forgetting our true passions and path in life to please others, we must never compromise. Compromise means giving something away, something in exchange for another's willingness to do the same. But we shall not give an entire piece of our dream, nor a decade of our lives over to anyone. Or anything, as a matter of fact. Yes, we can help and love others on our way to personal freedom, but we mustn't give away so much time that our freedom itself is fully compromised. We can meet our real responsibilities and care for our loved ones, but our own progress must never falter or stop, lest we become slaves of the world. If in aiding others we kill our own dreams, then it is merely our ego seeking to make a false martyr of ourselves. We must keep the big picture in mind. A million dreams have died because compromising souls repeated the lie of the weak. I'm okay with putting off my needs and dreams another few years because people need me. Shall we do nothing but reply to the needs of others all day until in the day's final hours we retreat to our beds? Exhausted by the madness, no one stepped closer to what we wanted in life, so that we can sleep restless only to awake once more in a world determined by others rather than by ourselves. That was my life. So we can sleep restlessly only to awake once more in a world determined by others rather than by ourselves. No, let us not compromise our dreams or barter our destiny hour by hour. If we can see a dream in the distance, let us move towards it with a real force, will, and consistency. To do less is to let the dream weaken and die. We can support our loved ones for a while, stepping in, helping out, but that does not require us to bring our dreams to a full stop. Every day we can do something to advance our own agenda. Perhaps it is also time to stop seeing others as obstacles to our dreams, but rather as collaborators. Have we sat down and told our loved ones and told them what we truly desire of life? Have we asked our teams to help brainstorm new ways to work together so that all desires can be met? Are we engaging others enough so that they will be supportive and participate in our life's pursuit? Real progress often comes in our lives once we make people our allies in accomplishment. Each day we have a choice to go with the wants and whims of the world or to chart our own course. If we abandon self-determination, we are left adrift in a chaotic sea, and the only thing on the horizon are swells of boredom or suffering. And so our attitude each morning must be that this is our day no matter what. If we can start with that intention, if we develop clarity and write our own manifestos and plans, we can execute them with heart and discipline. If we stick to it and fight it to stay in charge, we suddenly find ourselves one day back at the helm, happy, motivated, alive. So where are you right now? A few weeks ago, I asked you to reach out to your team and ask them how they're doing, what they need, how are they feeling, do they need support? How many of you reached out to your team and asked them what they need? How many of you have taken an inventory of your life and said, I don't want to live like this anymore? Because a few weeks ago or a few months ago, I had to do that, but I have to keep revisiting. I say, okay, Velia, what did you do today? Was it good? What are your plans for tomorrow, for next week? What are your plans and what are you going to do, right? And unless I have that laid out, I don't know if I'm making progress. I don't know if my team's okay. You know, but I have to be in touch with them, right? They have to find out what they're doing. And you have to be able to retain the people that you work so hard to recruit. They're not perfect, neither are we. But if you're falling short, why wouldn't they? But if you can sit there and say, I'm being the best leader that I can be and not feel convicted about it, that's awesome. But if you don't rank advanced, neither do they. So leadership isn't really about you. You know, you can't lead others unless you lead yourself. But think about it. The law of the lid. Okay? They can't grow unless you grow. And a lot of people go to different teams for the same reason. They don't have the support, right? They get discouraged or whatever. And personalities happen. But when I asked you guys if you guys are leading your team, leading yourself the way you want to be led, are you happy with how you're taking care of your doTERRA business? Are you happy with the way you're advancing? Are you happy with the way you're thinking? Are you dedicating the time and attention that your business needs? You know, those are hard questions you have to ask yourself. And unless you do that, there's just no way you're ever going to make any progress in life. And myself included. All these questions I ask myself as well. And when I say, Velia, you can do more, I do more. It's not always easy. But that's always a challenge I'm willing to take because I've asked for things. I've prayed for things. And I'm going to receive, right? And if I do my part, it's a whole lot faster. It's a whole lot better. What are you guys going to do this week? Are you going to finally set your goals? Are you going to look at your graphical tree and find out how to make it better? Do you want to know what you need to rank advance? Do you want to know how to get motivated? How to find time? How to live a purpose-driven life? How to not go to bed anymore regretting your day or hating your life, right? Nobody should hate your life, period. And if you do hate your life, eliminate what's making you hate it. As hard as it is, as tough as it is, I beat myself up for a long time thinking that I should be able to handle that job, I should be good, I shouldn't be stressed, you can handle it, you can do this, you can do that. And I could have, but why was I torturing myself? One thing is trying so hard and then knowing when you're done, right? Another thing is giving up. So you have to pray about what that is. If you're stuck in a job or you're stuck somewhere where you're miserable, change it. And you'll be surprised the minute you let go, all of a sudden blessings start pouring in, and it's scary because you have to step out in faith. So I don't know where you are right now in your life. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're feeling. But I would encourage you, if you're not happy, to take the proper steps to get there and reach out. I don't know who's reached out to their accountability partners. I haven't heard anything. I continue to pray for you, for wisdom, for strength, for direction, for really a lot of strength to make those difficult decisions that I know you have to make, whatever they may be. I don't know your specific needs, but I know you all have them. So now I open my big mouth and share things that I'm going to be doing. So darn, I have to follow through now. So if you guys can please pray for me tomorrow. Again, I have my Spanish class and I'm going to be doing it on the holistic or the Dina Wolf Enterprise link, and then we'll share that link on the holistic as well. And just pray for me, because I'm super scared, but God's calling me to share with the Spanish speaking community. So we'll see how that goes. And we have leadership again tomorrow, so looking forward to gaining more nuggets from there. And I know Dina videotaped some stuff too that she'll be sharing with you guys. So really listen, there was a lot of really good information that was shared. And I would just ask for God to prepare your hearts to receive whatever it is He wants you to receive. So with that being said, I will let you guys go. Hope you had a great day today, and looking forward to your day tomorrow. And I pray that you will pray about the tough decisions that you may have to make. Thank you guys so much